Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about the earnings option screw, how you can take advantage of it. NVIDIA got double upgraded prior to earnings. You might be interested to know that there is a very, very cheap option contract that is out there prior to earnings, or precise daily stock levels, or game plan in Forex. Also, a special psychology episode where we're going to talk about how to get yourself back on track if you suffer from FOMO, or the fear of missing out, as well as our full stock analysis. I am Mark Melnick. This is the Newsbeat Show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Newsbeat Show. So, we have a lot of interesting things. First, I thought it would be prudent to go over what happened with me, at least, in Boson. And I'm going to go into some of the mistakes that some traders made. And again, I call out all my trades in real time. So, when I'm in something, you guys always know immediately. And we're going to talk about the three ideas we had on Boson yesterday in earnings name. First of all, Boson gapped up this morning. So if you were listening to me yesterday, I basically said it was very likely that we were going to just continue on a trajectory upwards. That didn't happen. So the three strategies I spoke about today of how to trade Boson today was to apply buy off the open, because I was comparing how the stock in the past usually set an early low off the day open. So once it opened, if you bet gap down, you were at the day high, meaning you could short there. And if you gapped up, if you opened, you're usually near or at the day low, so you could go long there. So it's kind of an interesting thing of what happened in the room. I didn't touch it. I was saying, this morning that watch out for the options, or watch out for the options. There's a very large spread. And I think there were a number of traders who crushed it, who actually just bought it off the open and sold it when it jumped 2.5 points. Your options went up like 130% in like 30, 45 seconds. It was stupid, but you had to be quick. So there are three strategies we talked about. First one, we spoke about the one and done. First time the 1 minute bar breaks a prior 1 minute candle, you could go for a long. Next, we talked about the high five, that once you break an exponential 8 moving average on a 5 minute chart, and then you close there, the next 5 minute bar that does break a prior candle's high can be a long opportunity. So we talked about three strategies on Boson. Two of them worked. Two of them worked. We're going to talk about that and why that actually made it hard to make money, even though two of them worked. So the first one was buying off the open. Here's a 1 minute chart. It opened up at 55.60, hit a day low of 55.29, not a big deal, and shot up to 58.47. So basically moved up approximately $3. Very successful. What did you call it? $1 or $2, or you caught the whole three. Or even if it went up three and it pulled down, you're only down up $1.50. It was still an extremely profitable strategy. After the 1 minute bar closed, here's where the strategy failed. Now, even though you could say, Mark, look, you went from $58 to 58.47, I marked that down as a failure. Now, just keep in mind that even though I will look at that 1 minute and say it absolutely failed, it is not part of the statistics of a Newsbeat name. It is not considered part of the names. The Newsbeat names this morning were CB, CRM, and Twilio. That's Chubb, Salesforce.com, and Twilio. One downgrade, two upgrades. That's just for statistical purposes. Let's still talk about what happened here. 1 minute broke up, hit 58.47, and then got thrashed. Literally pulled down approximately $2.75, almost $3, and then continued moving down for a large portion of the day, as you can see here. Here is the problem. Now in the room, I'll I'll tell you exactly. I think you need to see this because this is a very important episode. Make sure you do not tune out. I'm going to teach you how to overcome FOMO, or the fear of missing out. So many traders talk about it, but no one really addresses it scientifically. I address it scientifically. I use Ivy League studies in which I use to share with you because I am that nerd reading these things at night. I don't suffer from FOMO. I used to. I used to suffer from FOMO. And I think instead of saying, "Oh, you're suffering from the fear of missing out. Oh my goodness, Mark, you're a genius. How did you know?" I think it's easier if I come and I actually give you a solution instead of just spewing the same stupid BS garbage, useless diagnostic information that anybody could throw in your face as a trader. Oh, you're a trader? Let me guess. You don't know where to enter. You don't know where to exit. You hold your losers too long. You double down on your losers. You sell your winners too early. Oh, wow. I just talked about 99% of the trading community. I must know what I'm talking about. I do know what I'm talking about. And that's why I'm going to share with you guys how to cure your FOMO today. Because if I give you a solution to this, this might be one of the most valuable things as a trader that you ever receive in your life. As a trader, again, you have a son, you have a daughter, you have a family, you have somebody in your life that loves you. Nothing's more valuable than that. But as a trader, I'm going to give you something of value. You're going to leave watching this episode saying, "Thank God that I was here watching Mark's Newsbeat show. Prove me wrong. Give me some of your time. Just going to go over the things and then we're going to talk about it after." So the one and done failed. So I'll tell you what I was doing at this point. When the market opened, I was looking at the $60 calls in Boson for September and switching between August and September monthlies on Boson. And I had a market order set for 50 options. Not the biggest position, not the biggest position in the world, but $2, $3 option. It's 10, 15 grand, and it was for a light position for me. It was on the heavier side of a light position, in all honesty. So for me, it was like I was sitting there with a market order with 50 contracts like this. By the way, just like that, I was ready to just tick in, and then I saw the spread, and it was like one of the options. I think it was the 60s, the 60 August was like 45 cents by like $2.30 initially, and it tightened up as time went. And I looked at that and I said, "Oh hell no. Let this thing tighten up like this." With my finger on my, on my mouse. Yeah, have a cool mouse, right? Got a little Razer Naga there. So I had my finger on the buy button and I was ready to press it, and I'm like this, and I'm like, "Oh hell no! Look at this spread. This is stupid. This is stupid." I'm watching Boson. I'm watching Boson shoot up on that first 1 minute candle you see right here, shooting up, and I'm thinking, and I'm like, you know what? I missed the first part of my strategy, which was to buy off the open. Go back on the Newsbeat show yesterday. We shared 3 strategies, right? I missed it. It's done. It's over. Did it bother me? Not at all. Did it bother some of you guys? Yes. Some of you guys got bothered by that. We're going to talk to you how to fix it. Just let me finish what I have to say here. So then I watched the first 1 minute bar close. If the options were tight over here when it was ready to break through 58, I would have gotten hit on Boson. I would have taken a loss on Boson because I was still ready to buy. I was like this. But the options were like $1.20 by $2. And I'm like, "Oh hell no." If it was $1.20 by $1.40, I would have been like, okay, 20 cents in a boson. Once you start screwing around with like the offer is like 80 to 200% higher than the bid, I'm just like, forget it. Unless it's like 5 by 10 cents and you're doing a lot of, there's exceptions to that, but let's not be a stickler for exceptions. We're talking about dollar by $2 type spreads. And there, I had the discipline to say at that point, I'm not pushing this button because if I am, let's say the stock drops even 20 cents and I want to sell out, I could lose, with 50 contracts, I could lose like 5, 6 grand if the bid just falls out a little. That would be it, 5, 6 grand on a little stupid move. So I stopped and I hesitated and I said, I'm not doing this. I'm going to teach you how to do that in this Newsbeat show here, one of our more important episodes. So that was the one and done, failed. Buy off the open, succeed. If you weren't crazy enough, if you were crazy, not crazy enough to buy off the open, you did the one and the one and done failed. So now we have one more strategy, the high five. Now here is the funny part about the high five. So right over here, you test the exponential 8 from 935 to 940 on the second 5-minute candle. What does the high five say? The next time a 5-minute candle breaks to the upside, you can go long. So what happened? Stock fell down here. Look at the range of this 5-minute candle. It's hard to see in the top left. I'll tell it to you. It's 48.58 by $50.48, or $1.90, or approximately $2. There's a $2 spread. So when you're buying through 50.48, you know how many contracts I took? Guess. Guess. I was looking to take 50 initially on a lower conviction one. However, when I saw this $1.90 spread, if I was taking 50 on the 1 minute, how many would I take on the 5? Newsbeat Live. Jimmy guesses 100. Anyone want to take? I'm going to tell you the answers. Aha! Rob is right. I took 10. 5. Good guess, Eric. Tom, perfect. Rob, perfect. 50 or less, Priyanka, right? Now, I always tell you that the high five is a higher conviction strategy, meaning I tend to throw more size at it than the one and done. You guys know that I say that every time. But why did I tear down on this high five strategy? Because my risk was $1.90. If I was going to do this strategy effectively and hold it, I knew I had to sit there and watch the stock potentially go $1.90, or let's just call it $2 against me, because I would have to put the stop at the bottom of the candle. So my risk tolerance was like, then the stock broke 50.48. I bought it in real time, and the stock started being a total pain in the you know what, a pita, and not the delicious bread. So what happens after I bought through 50.48? Let's call it $50.50. It fell at one point to 49.35. It was $1.15 against me. I was in the options, but the stock moved $1.15 against me. And I'm just sitting there like, okay, well, I still got 48.58. All right, and I'm watching the stock grind in my face for 15 minutes. And after the morning, some people had from the morning, those 15 minutes felt like 150 minutes. And I'm sitting there and I'm waiting and my eyes are rolling. I'm like, oh my God, when is this thing going to go? Finally broke out here to 51.55. I wasn't hoping and praying. I never get to that stage anymore in my career, thankfully. I used to be that where I start, you know, talking to the person upstairs, so to speak. Not anymore. And I'm going to teach you how to do that as well. Stock eventually went to 52.17. I was able to make decent money on my options. I made like about 500 bucks approximately, 50 cents on 10 contracts, and I was like, that's it. I'm done. I wasn't able to trade it. So I will teach you psychological toxicity. I'm going to show it to you after I do number 1 and 2 before I do the precise daily stock levels. Stay tuned. If you're joining us here late, I'm going to teach you how to scientifically, as best as I can, scientifically overcome the fear of missing out, or somebody who's chasing in a trade because they would be too mad if they missed it. So there's something I like to call the option screw. And I saw a lot of it yesterday, and it was sort of the call I made in the room, if you remember from yesterday, where people who bought Home Depot calls and puts would lose money, and people who would take straddles and strangles are losing money. Now, yes, I know I took the VIPS straddle the yesterday, and it worked gorgeously. Look at that. $9 puts, they shot up in value. Me, I caught a little over 25%. I caught about 25% of my money. You could have made over, I don't know, 80%, 90%. I didn't hold it. 100%, Eric. Thank you. Oh, yeah, you got a better fill than me, Eric. You could have made 100%. That's correct. I couldn't have. You could have, Eric, not me. Yes, you could have made 100%. So this was the one I took, and coincidentally, it worked. But generally speaking, people who are doing straddles and strangles into earnings are getting screwed. So when I was looking at Agilent, they reported tonight. I basically said, no, I don't want to do it because you're likely to get screwed. Congratulations. If Agilent opens up at 65.20, you're screwed. Also, there was Cree earnings. Those were expensive. And I said, I don't see it in Cree. And if you took Cree, calls and puts. Let's say you bought $50 puts and $50.50 calls. You are walking in down money in both of those positions tomorrow. You're screwed. So what is the trick here? What is the is there a trick here? There is. I want to show you something. So I'm teaching you more than just how to cure FOMO. I'm actually giving you a strategy for tomorrow, ironically, through this. It's kind of obvious to me. I actually have to load my software real quick so I could give you guys the exact price because I don't know it. Okay. I'm going to log in one of my accounts here. Just give me a moment. All right. So Agilent. If you bought, so Agilent closed at 66.75. So for example, on letter A, if you were to take, there's $2.50 range on the options. If you were to take 67.5 calls and $65 puts expiring this week, you know what you paid most likely? You paid about $3.31. In English, you're coming in tomorrow and you're opening up down money, even if you eventually make the money. So is there a level? Is there a level to potentially buy Agilent tomorrow in terms of a call and a put that are $2.50 apart? Yes. I don't want to break out the chart and go into the mathematical formula. I'm just going to cheat and give you the number again. And please don't discount any word I'm about to tell you. Do not discount it. The level you need to pay, or the level I'm looking to pay, is $1.49 or less. Don't misconstrue the word less. It's a very important word. The silliest thing you can do tomorrow is place that bid in the pre-market. Wait for it to open and then look at it. And then I am going to place my bid. I can't legally tell you what to buy or sell. I'm not an investment advisor. That's how I'm going to trade Agilent tomorrow, letter A, because when you screw over the calls and puts from the day prior, you generally have an opportunity to make money the next day, the vast, vast, vast majority of the time. So again, $1.49, let's call it $1.50 or less. Don't I would never put in the order in the pre-market. That is, I would never throw in a market order as the market opens. Like, don't, don't, don't do that. Give it a minute. Look at the bid and offer. See if there's a tight spread. Try to get filled somewhere in between. Try to see if you could get filled closer to the bid. That is the way you do it effectively. So that is how you take advantage of an option screw. Stay tuned. We're going to teach you how to get I'm going to teach you ways that might surprise you to get over the fear of missing out. You'll be surprised. It's actually a lot of psychoanalysis, and I've actually read several studies regarding this. And sometimes when I hear this stuff, I'm like, why didn't I talk about this before? And you guys know, I mean, I'm approaching Newsbeat show number 150 here. I'm on 149. I always look back and I said, why didn't I share this or this or this? And the truth is, my work will probably never end. So, um, I'm going to share with you what I read. Let's talk about NVIDIA getting a double upgrade, and you're going to laugh. So, a lot of times, um, stocks that get upgraded with a price target, there's a good chance at times that the price target actually reaches on earnings. Just hear me out. There's a lot of times it reaches on earnings. So Wells Fargo came out tonight. $315 target on NVIDIA. $315 target on NVIDIA, which is a raise from 140. The analyst had an underperform rating. He thought he was going to lose his job, and he switched it over to an outperform. Analyst cites the company's long-term prospects given its competitive position in gaming. I use NVIDIA graphic cards, as well as AI, deep learning, data center growth opportunities. Analyst also points to the company's new Turing GPU architecture, as well as the well understood investor perception of weakening in cryptocurrency related demand. So, first of all, I don't know where this even started. First of all, to anyone out there who thinks the most effective way to mine a cryptocurrency is done through GPUs, doesn't know what they're talking about. You know how many people I've talked to who are running these huge crypto farms out in these um, elect, uh, electricity friendly locations where they don't have to spend a lot of money on electricity? You know, I talk to them and I'm like, they're asking me what I'm doing and I tell them what I'm doing, and I ask them, what are you doing? It's like, yeah, we're running a bunch of GPUs, for example, to mine Ethereum. And I said, because you could supposedly only use GPUs to mine Ethereum, that is a lie. You see what I did there? A lie. You see, not to get turn this into a cryptocurrency conversation because there's so much I have to talk about here tonight. But Monero, for example, used to be a solid a non, you weren't able to really go into the fastest processors and the fastest things to mine them. Anybody who thinks GPUs are an effective way to mine cryptocurrency, no. They never have been. There was never a point in the history of humanity, known humanity, considering cryptocurrency only existed within the last, let's say, 500 years, in which mining cryptocurrency with a GPU was even 15% as effective of having a dedicated ASIC miner to mine it. So dedicated ASIC miners up here, GPUs, you can't see this hand because it's all the way down there. That didn't sound right at all. But you get the picture. So who the hell is stupid enough to buy NVIDIA cards to mine cryptocurrency? And I know some of you are shying down there like, Mark, I was one of those people. It's okay. I forgive you. So, double upgrade on NVIDIA. What can that possibly mean? What can that, every cryptocurrency can be done better through ASIC miners as long as the cryptocurrency does not apply a soft fork, which will change the algorithm in which the unit of cryptocurrency is mined. But I don't want to go into cryptocurrency 103 over here. I just want to talk about NVIDIA. And the interesting thing about NVIDIA is with the analyst putting out this target, without looking, just guessing, prior to earnings, what do you think the $300 calls are trading at right now? What do you think the $300 NVIDIA calls are trading at now? If you wanted to buy the option to buy NVIDIA at $300, what do you think you would pay for it? To have that ability to buy 100 shares of NVIDIA at $300. What do you think that cost you without looking up your option chain? Anyone want to guess? You think a dollar, Priyanka? You think $1.50? Last call. And I know some of you are checking. Shame on you. 4.50, 10 cents, 50 cents, $5, Carlo. As many as you want, 13 by 15 cents. 13 by 15 cents to have the privilege of buying NVIDIA at $300. Total lotto idea. Analysts coming out with a $300 plus target, and they are reporting this week. I just thought it would be funny for a lottery ticket to see something like that. Do you guys want to talk about the fear of missing out? Do you guys want to talk about it? Do you think it's important to talk about the fear of missing out? I think it is. So I've been reading a lot of things on the internet, a lot of things regarding studies that are obviously posted on the internet. I don't email Harvard or Yale or any of the Ivy League schools and say, "My dear Watson, can you please send me a transcript of your study?" So in 2013, the word FOMO, FOMO, was actually officially added in the Oxford Dictionary. Obviously, as you know, this clever acronym stands for the fear of missing out, which was coined to describe that feeling that can arise when you feel that there is a more exciting prospect that is happening elsewhere, and unfortunately, you're not there. So when you experience fear of missing out as a trader, how do you go about fixing it? How do you go about fixing it? Is there something, is there meditation? Is there something that you could do that will actually produce real results? Not saying you suffer from FOMO, but what is the actual solution? What is the actual solution? So, just want to go over a couple things. The first thing you have to do, and I'm just going to go into a bright white screen. Sorry, I know it's very bright, but I'll just keep it on my face for now. So, first thing to do, believe it or not, is to admit you have a problem. And this is one of the things that I did that helped me stop chasing in the market, that helped me turn consistent. The first thing I did was admitting the problem was mine. And after I did that, I was able to move past it. Try saying this with me right now. You're at your computer. You're not going to embarrass yourself in front of a lot of people. Say, I, and then insert your name. I'll do it with you. I, Mark Melnick, cannot be everywhere at all times and always be doing the best thing ever. And that's okay. I, Mark Melnick, cannot be everywhere at all times and always be doing the best or coolest thing ever, and that's okay. Step one. Repeat that. I'm typing it out. Okay, so right over here, that's the first thing you do. I'm serious. It's actually a little less than 50 times. It's in the 40s, but I don't remember, so 50 is fine. You have to repeat that out loud. Oh, not in your head. You have to repeat that out loud. And whether you're a profitable trader, you should still do this exercise if this is something you might be suffering from. I, Mark Melnick, cannot be everywhere at all times and always be doing the best and coolest thing ever, and that's okay. Now, what happens is the reason why you say it out loud is not to embarrass yourself. The reason you say it out loud is you speaking creates an audible thing, which actually helps create the neurological connection within your brain that will help you enforce it. I know it sounds kind of silly. It sounds kind of silly, but here's the deal. I don't suffer. I cannot remember the last time I suffered fear of missing out. It must have been 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago as a trader. I no longer suffer from that. I did something like this in order to get me past that. That is how I physically fixed it. You want to talk about a physical fix? Do you want to put in the work? Do you want to do this for the next 2 months to fix your problem? How valuable is it to you to fix your problem? How valuable is it to you to look at a stock and not have that day? Maybe you see a stock running without you 10 times or 20 times, and the 20 times you watch it run without you, 19 of the times you remain disciplined, but 1 out of 20 you had to hit in. How important is it for you to fix your problem? When I come to you and I try to help bring you to that next level, I need your help. I need your help because it will be impossible if you and I are not working as a team. So that is the first tip. That is, in my opinion, the most effective way to do it. You want to know what will do it as well? Step 2. This is what will actually prevent you from fear of missing out. Turn off your phone and all social media. One of the biggest problems that traders have is distractions. That's why when I talk to you traders on the phone, I say make sure there's nothing around you. Nobody's asking you to do something. You don't have to drop your kid off at school. You don't have to babysit someone. You're not on a phone call. You're not waiting for a customer to come and pull you out. You're not waiting for whoever it is that's going to require some of your time, whether it's a telephone call, someone speaking to you. Maybe your dog has really bad gas. Maybe your dog is farting up a storm, and you're just sitting there in your room and you're like, oh, God, that stinks. Oh, why did I give him pizza last night? God, I'm such an idiot. I shouldn't have done that. Put your dog in another room. Believe me, it's for the best of both of you. Social media off, phones off are the two number one distractions while you trade. Somebody updates their Facebook, somebody posts a link, you're watching the market, you want to look in a trade. You would be surprised how many issues this has solved. Or maybe you wouldn't be surprised. Maybe you're that person. The next thing you do, the last thing is actually having mindfulness. And what mindfulness is it's a therapeutic technique that refers to a non-judgmental observation or awareness. Like, so for example, if you want to know how to lower your heart rate and lower the hyperactivity in your brain, you can literally focus in on your breathing, and it literally has a physical effect on your body when you do these things. So, for example, if you start just tuning into the sound of you breathing, it actually relaxes you. By practicing, it's called a mindfulness immersion exercise. So take any stupid activity. Maybe you're driving to school and you're picking up your kid, take note of the muscles you're using to turn your steering wheel. Take note of the foot you're using. What this ultimately does is it puts you more in touch with your brain. I'm going to type in practice mindfulness. And this is all stuff that I, get online, by the way. Don't think I invented this stuff, but I can tell you that I utilize this stuff to cure my problems. So when people ask me, Mark, how did you cure your FOMO? Ta-da! Turn off your phone and all social media while you trade. Get rid of all potential distractions. Anything that can pull your eyes away from that trading monitor for the first 30 or 45 minutes, no. You're either working or you're not. Period. Make sure you do number one. Make sure you practice mindfulness. It doesn't matter what you do when you're practicing mindfulness. Maybe you're riding a bike, maybe you're jogging outside, maybe you're walking, and you're focusing on the muscles you're using as you do that. Maybe you're driving a car, maybe you're washing the dishes, maybe you're cleaning up toys, maybe you're scrubbing something. Take note of what you're doing. Keep doing it. Do it for at least a month or two. Some people will get results after 2, 3 weeks. Some people will get results after 2, 3 months. I have seen it both. One is not better than the other. This is going to help you get to that next level of trading. If I could even begin to tell you, when I was managing groups of traders, when all these traders would come to me and they would form around me in a circle and I would tell them these things, you would be surprised. And I was a lot more vicious with them. I basically came to them with like an exercise like this, and I said, do this exercise or find another group. If you can't do this exercise, I can't help you. That's it. I'm wasting your time and you're wasting my time. And I talk to people like that, not because I'm trying to be an a-hole, but I talk to people like that because I sometimes feel like not everyone, not even the majority of people, but sometimes you feel when you talk to somebody that you give a you know what more about them becoming successful than they do. And that to me drives me nuts. It drives me nuts because I understand that nobody is perfect. If I even told you the number of times I screwed up in my life, in a police station, in stupidest things that if somebody told you I did, you'd be like, I know Mark Melnick, he would never do it. And I'd be like, it's true. I screwed up royally in my life, real bad. You know what? I fixed it and I climbed out of it. And a lot of the things that I do today and the things I show you are the actual answers. See, I'm not telling you, just keep practicing a consistent methodology to cure your FOMO. Yeah, that's good, but that's how you cure FOMO. There. Cure to FOMO. Disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. Maybe you're the person who wants to take a prescription medication for this. I think, you know, you do whatever you need to do. This is how I cured it. Medication free, drug free America. This is how I cured it. So tell me, I want to know from you as a listener how your FOMO gets cured. I don't want you to do this for a week and email me and say, Mark, I still got FOMO. For God's sake, invest a little bit of time in yourself. You'll be surprised when you're so much further ahead in the future how happy you were to have somebody like me and come and share this with you. Because you know what I tell myself all the time? I tell myself if I had all the information that I do today, outside of where a stock is going to move up or down, let's say, and I started trading again when I was 19 years old, I started when I was 19. If I was trading as a 19-year-old, and let's say I didn't know where the markets would go from here on out, I honestly believe I'd be one of the richest men on the planet if I knew these things. I'll never know if that's true or not. Maybe I learned this too late in my career. Maybe As a 19-year veteran, I've been trading 50% of my life. I've been a trader 50% of my life. And maybe, just maybe, you're listening to this and you're in your 50s or your 60s or your 70s or your 80s. We even have two room members who are over 90. Maybe you're one of those people. But if one thing, and I'm not as experienced age-wise as a lot of people, and I'm more experienced age-wise than a lot of you guys that are listening, and vice versa. But I will say this. If there is one thing that life taught me, it's that no matter what kind of crappy situation you're in, no matter where you are, no matter your darkest moments in life, no matter whether you had suicidal thoughts, deep depression, you want to kill the people that were mean to you, and you sit there at night and you fantasize about these horrific things. If you're one of those people who sit there and you think, you tried to kill someone else by drinking poison yourself. That's how you tried to kill someone else because you hold in all this anger. This is the way to release it. This is the way to clear your tray. This is the way to open your mind. This is the way to start giving to charities. This is first help yourself, make money, and then help the people around you. This is the blueprint to fixing yourself, not only as a trader, but as a human being. You follow these things that we talk about here. You follow all these little weird steps, these weird exercises. It's funny. I come and I listen to the Newsbeat show, and all of a sudden, Mark Melnick is giving me homework. I haven't been. I haven't been in high school for X number of years. I haven't been in school since forever ago, Mark. I left school so I wouldn't have to deal with this. I will only be able to help you for as much as you allow me to help you. And if you don't feel you are important enough to be helped, or you feel the stuff you screwed up on as even a trader or a human being or both is not enough, and you're not worthy of pulling yourself up, let me tell you, you are wrong. Because I promise you this. Once you actually climb out of there, and this, I guarantee you, I will use the word 100% of this. I am 100% sure that regardless of how many times you've blown up your account, or regardless of how down your account is, if you climb out of this hole, I swear to you on everything I have, you are going to look back. You are going to look back at these moments and you're going to smile because it's going to let you know where you came from, and you're going to view the moments right now, the darkest moments of your time, and you're going to smile and you're going to say, wow, I was in such a worse place before than I am now, and I am blessed and I am fortunate to be able to be where I am today, and that is a consistently profitable trader. You have my word, but I need you to work with me. I believe in you. I know you can do it because I did it. And you're talking to college dropout. You're talking to a trader who suffered psychological toxicity like you wouldn't believe. I was trading 400 or 500,000 shares a day. Like I was horrible, in bad shape. I've been through hell and back. I lost a wife. No, she didn't die, but I got divorced. My account, I've watched my net worth go like this, go all the way back down, go up, go all the way back down, and now going up again. I've watched all those things happen. And I never knew before why it was happening like this until I finally found consistency in the market and I started investing in these ideologies. If you are the person who bought Boson on the one and done with the obnoxious spread that it had, I command you, as your leader, or better yet, somebody who actually gives enough of a hoot about you to actually spend his time doing this for you, who's using the platform that I have been gifted with to speak to the world, to speak to the internet, to actually share these things with you. And what I want from you, what I ask from you in return, is write this down, and I want to know how you're progressing. Don't email me today about this. You could email me anytime about anything else. Don't email me about this, but I want to know how it's working out for you. And I will read your email, and I get thousands of emails, and I don't, I, I respond to almost all of them, and sometimes they just get lost in the ether. But I promise you, I do take the time and I do my best to do it. Just margin of error. Even if I have a margin of error of 1%, I'll miss like 30 emails. You get 3,000 emails. If I have a margin of error of 1%, like plus or minus 1%, like I can miss 30 emails. So just kindly remember I am a human being, but always reach out to me. I do my best to read every single one of my emails. I do my best to respond to every one of my emails. All right. Precise daily stock levels. Here you go. Here you go. Very simple. All my levels. Huh. Whoops. There we go. Fix the Google one. Here are all my levels for tomorrow. What am I watching tomorrow? Well, since we're talking about the double upgrade of NVIDIA, we might as well watch NVIDIA. So all-time high is 269.20. I know the $300 calls are a far stretch. It is a complete and utter lotto ticket. Something that I might throw a couple $100 at. Imagine NVIDIA opens up at 305. Your $200 bet, you know, could be 7, 8 grand. Now, please don't think of this like a whirlpool. The truth is, I don't think of NVIDIA as I do Whirlpool, but it's a thought. And you'll have to be in the Newsbeat live room tomorrow or part of my Twitter service in order to know if I actually end up taking this trade or not. So I don't want to act like I'm promoting it because I'm not. I think the smartest trade for me tomorrow will be a Cree and a letter A straddle. The letter A straddle, we shared with you what I would do. How about all my Forex trades? Very simple. 4 buy orders, US standard lots. Here are the stocks that the Forex pairings I'm looking to buy. Here's the exact price I'm looking to buy it up to 5 decimal places out. These are all bids that I threw in right before the Newsbeat show started, so none of them are filled. Here are my stop losses in case I get filled and I am wrong. Here's my take profit levels in case I get filled and I am right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go into our full stock analysis now. That is for Newsbeat Live members only. Make sure you practice the things we talked about. You might be suffering from them whether you realize it or not. And there's never anything better than to reinforce something positive in your life, regardless of what you do or do not suffer from. We are the fastest and largest growing trading room in the United States of America. Happy trading, make money. We'll see you guys next time on the Newsbeat Live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful evening.